The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Arabia Barbosa, number 4, Westchester County, New York. The BT 1000. Still good. 27. Kuja na mimi, kula chakula. Unataka kula nini? Karibu, karibu, nyumbani. Karibu, unataka kula nini? Kuja na mimi. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the still fans. Shout out to my moderators, my support team, my subscribers. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. This is the BT 1000. Shout out to everyone that supports my channel. Thank you. Thank you for the cash apps. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the good times, the bads. Yo, shout out to the chat. Fuck the comments. Solar Nation. Solar Nation. Rise up and take back this sector. Shout out to the rabbit. Shout out to all the rabbits that support this channel. Shout out to the Sniper Gang. Mafia. The Solar Nation runs this shit. We run it. We run it. I am the BT 1000. The German Shepherd in the goddamn room. Jeeper Creeper. Lucy the Vampire. Still good. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. We are definitely in the house. It's after 12:30 in the morning. So today is Monday. Today is Monday morning. I only got a few more hours before I actually have to rise up from out of this house and participate in life. Yo, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, a lot of people went live today. A lot of people went live today. Iceberg went live today. He was doing his content over there. And of course, Kwame Brown, the troll, the hater, the doxer, the payaso, the pendejo, the vatos, the Mikundu, the mentiroso, came over there and hit the link. And the only thing he was doing was trying to disrupt the content. That's what he was trying to do. A shout out to the chat. I believe that Ears had hit the link. Ears had hit the link. And a few other gentlemen in the chat had hit the link. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah. He wasn't the only one that went live today. Moonlight went live. today for a short period of time. Shout out to her. Lonnie One Love, the Empress, went live today. Shout out to her. Yeah. So we had quite a few people that went live today. Now, these YouTube streets are fierce. They're on fire. The battles are still happening. YouTube is a battlefield. YouTube is a battlefield. Let's say that again for the people in the back. YouTube is a battlefield. Yeah, I'm not going to be up here very long talking. Those that are not here, they can catch the replay. I know that there are some people that are having a hard time sleeping. Yeah. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my support team. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to some of my YouTube creators. Yeah. So, these YouTube streets are pretty much on fire. They're pretty much on fire with the same old. It's the same content everywhere you go on the YouTube streets. Someone has an issue with someone has a problem with someone, or someone has become a liability, a concern, a point of talking about, It's the same thing every week, every day, every month. No one has anything new to say. But the Empress Lonnie One Love, she had went live earlier. And she started talking about the female rappers, those that participated in hip hop in the earliest days of hip hop. Who was the first female rapper? What came later? What kind of songs they did. But nobody mentions the rapper, the female rapper, the woman named Boss. BOSS. Nobody mentions her. They'll mention people like Roxanne Shante, MC Lyte, Yo-Yo, Queen Latifah, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, Eve, but nobody really talks about Boss and what she contributed to rap music, to the hip hop culture, before the hip hop culture got turned over to the females that felt it necessary to show their body and to talk about sexual things in their lyrics. In other words, nobody talks about the real rappers. Nobody talks about the real rappers before they had our women coming on TV like MTV and a few other stations where they showed our women wearing bathing suits or having very little bit of clothing on at all. Shout out to the chat, because I remember Boss, when she came to the industry, she was wearing sunglasses, she was wearing gangster color rags on her head, the handkerchiefs. She was wearing the plaid shirts. She was wearing the baggy jeans. She was wearing the boots. You know what I mean? And her lyrics were so tough. They were so hard. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Boss, the rapper Boss, the female rapper Boss, passed away not too long ago. She had been suffering from some kind of illness dealing with her kidneys. And, And she had been out here a long time. Nobody gives her props. Now we've heard of Miss Melody and all these other people, but nobody talks about Boss. Nobody talks about Boss. Now there's been a few times I have been over there listening to her music, Born Gangster, you know. Uh, there was one particular song where the lyrics was, I don't give a fuck, not a single solitary fuck. I don't give a motherfucking fuck, motherfuckers. That was fucking hard. I didn't hear MC Light saying those words. I didn't hear Queen Latifah saying those words. I didn't hear Miss Melody saying those words. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. And people seem to overlook the fact that Susan Vega contributed a lot to the YouTube, well, not to the YouTube streets, but yeah, her music is on YouTube, so she has contributed a lot to the YouTube, but she has also contributed a lot to the music industry. A lot of rappers sample Susan Vega's music. Like, what's that one song she came out with? Okay, Tom's Diner. Tom's Diner. A lot of rappers sample her music, even to this day. So she has contributed a lot to hip hop, rap music. You know what I mean? Word is bond. James Brown, Rick James. But the old world of the hip hop has died. And I hate to say it died when Tupac was killed and Biggie was killed. That's when hip hop started changing. It started changing when Drop Shot, No Name, or Brand, Drag Nasty niggas like NWA came with their bullshit. Talking about gangster rap. All their music did. I'm not saying it contributed to a lot of the gangster stuff that went on in the streets, but the music started changing. And now we got what? Drill. We got drill rap. So basically, they took our music, our dancers, our culture, and turned it into something for profit. That is why certain rappers are not given their accolades. They're not given their respect. So Lonnie was right in her assessment of, what she was talking about. And there was a lot of rappers, a lot of female rappers that came from Philadelphia. Yes. But it's so interesting that Black people in this country have invented so many different genres of music that is not being recognized. We invented country. We invented rock music, heavy metal. We invented bluegrass. We invented gospel, R&B. We invented pop. But nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how Whitney Houston first came into the music industry. They love to talk about Whitney. They love to talk about what she did, but you don't know who came before her. Phyllis Hyman, Stephanie Mills, Melba Moore. Oh, yes, and the list goes on and on and on. Billie Holiday, you know what I mean? Because if you listen to a lot of the white artists that are out here singing, like Adele, Amy Winehouse, Janis Joplin, Ann Lennox, Lisa Stanfield, they took what they learned from the Black artists and applied it to their own music. And they even give homage to Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, and the list goes on and on. People don't mention Ma Rainey. People don't mention Ethel Waters, because Ethel Waters is actually related to Crystal Waters. So we got a lot of plants in the music industry. We got a lot of plants, but then we got some that actually got their career started in the mud and they became successful. Some people survived their success and others didn't. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. And that's reality. I'm doing just fine. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in these YouTube streets. There's a lot going on in the world. I'm just checking some. Oh. Yeah, I had to put everything on all messages, all messages, all messages. It's all business. Shout out to the chat. I'm sitting on my bed right now and I'm smoking a Cheyenne cigar, one of the strawberry flavored ones, and I love it so much. And I'm drinking some Kool-Aid. So I'm enjoying my life. But thank you for asking, how am I? I'm doing very fine. Thank you for coming in into the chat. So yeah, there's a lot going on in the world. We see what's going on with Donald Trump. We see what's going on over there in Iran. We just got finished celebrating Black History Month. And like I said before, Black History Month should be in everyone's home, especially if you're part of the Black community. Yeah, Black History should be every day, every week, every second, every hour. So, yeah, we celebrated people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali. People acknowledge Shirley Chisholm, Barbara Jordan, Fannie Lou Hamer. A lot of people don't talk about Fannie Lou Hamer a whole lot. I think I have done a few short videos about Fannie Lou Hamer. A lot of people don't know who she is. A lot of people don't know that she is a Black woman from Mississippi. She went out there to register to vote. And all kinds of trouble started happening right after that. She's been arrested in the past. While she was arrested or detained, one particular time, she was physically assaulted in the jail that she was being held in. And this was years ago. She died. She died a couple of years after everything had happened to her, after she tried her best to get people to register to vote. She even started her own branch of the Democratic Party because back then the Democratic Party didn't accept blacks. The Republicans turned against us. The Democrats have turned against us. And I don't mean no harm. We need to do like Fannie Lou Hamer did. Instead of starting our own Democratic Party, it should be a party where everyone is included. FBA, Pan-African Movement Union Party. For real, for real. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. I mean, because we're not going to get anywhere asking anybody for anything. Civil rights, okay, but what about human rights? We need to be seen as human. That is why there is a lot of police brutality going on. That is why black people are being killed by the police and by other fractions in the community, in society as a whole. You know what I mean? When they mentioned about Black History Month, I don't remember anyone talking about Elijah Muhammad, but the people from the Nation of Islam or people that are considered 5%ers, aka the poor righteous teachers, and X, Y, and XY. People talk very negatively about Daddy Grace. Daddy Grace is a Cape Verdean, and regardless of what he did, he set up his own mega church. He had everything going for him. He's Cape Verdean. So I don't give a fuck what negative stuff people got to say about him. It is what it is. And most Cape Verdeans, if you really look at it, we're all related. They might live on different islands and stuff like that, but we all come from the same family tree. And one thing I can say, and I am proud of, is that the fact that my great-grandfather came to this country way before 1928. He was Cape Verdean, and he wasn't ashamed to say who he was and where he came from. His name was Charles Alexandra Barbosa. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to 914 Westchester County, New York. Shout out to the 914 Westchester County, New York. Yo, we are the goats of New York. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about any other part of New York. I mean, it's all good. We all in the same melting pot and all that. So it is what it is. Shout out to New York. Shout out to New York. Westchester County, New York. The city. Shout out to New York City, man. For real, for real. For real, for real. Because that's where a lot of black people got their start from when they left from the South years ago, when they migrated from the South to the North. They were looking for jobs. They were looking for opportunity. They was looking to, get the American dream. They wanted the American dream. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. But yeah, I do agree with Lonnie on what she said about the rap music industry and how they don't give the women their props. But everyone wants to mention everyone else except for mentioning Boss. And she was a very good rapper. She was very, very good. She was with Def Jam when she first came into the music industry. Her albums really didn't sell that much, but at least she made an effort. And believe it or not, when I was in Job Corps, that's when I was buying her music. I bought her music and I bought other music from other artists. Around that time that was on the cassette tapes. Madonna, RuPaul. I had it all, man. I had all the music on the tapes. Shout out to the chat. And as time went on, the tapes transferred over to CDs. Now it's something else. So it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know who else is live. I really don't give a fuck. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be talking about anything but other people on the YouTubes. A lot of people on this platform gossip about each other. You know what I mean? Bless up. That's the only thing I can say. I'm out. I want to thank everyone that came over. Those that are not here, and catch the replay. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everyone that supports this channel. I'm out. I hope everyone has an awesome day today. Today is Monday. Today is the first day of the work week for some of us, because some of us didn't work the weekend. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914. I'm out.